Residential sales comparison and income approaches, page 86. When using data from, or applying data to properties of different price points, locations, designs, etc., the appraiser should always be very careful to determine if a particular adjustment is relevant and applicable. Physical characteristics, it may be possible, and often very probable, in many assignments, that an appraiser could locate data with no atypical financing terms, similar market conditions with no unusual conditions of sale, and very similar locational aspects. However, even if all of these elements of comparison align themselves when comparing the data to the subject property, it is very common for there to be one or several differences in the physical characteristics among them. A compilation of all physical characteristics that an appraiser could consider in this analysis would be exhaustive and likely not include every conceivable difference that might be encountered. But, in summary, physical characteristics are all inclusive of the internal characteristics of a property and can be defined in a few broad categories: site improvements, quality, condition, functional utility, appeal in Chapter 2. A detailed listing of subject characteristics which the appraiser typically gathers during his inspection was illustrated. For the most part, this information becomes the benchmark for comparison to the comparable data that has been identified for application in the valuation process. Similar to the appraiser's diligence when analyzing other elements of comparison, the appraiser must recognize the difference, consider the significance of the difference, determine if an adjustment is warranted, and address the component in the valuation process. Most often in residential appraisal assignments, physical features are addressed using a quantitative adjustment. Earlier in this chapter, paired data analysis of several physical characteristics was illustrated. This illustration explained the process when there is one significant difference in the paired data set, a primary pairing. However, it is very possible that each and every difference will not be able to be identified through primary pairing, since data is not always available through which to identify the necessity and amount of an adjustment. Sometimes, a secondary pairing is needed. T as NDAP if AP.